Hey everybody, it's Rob here, bringing you the best leveling builds and the best leveling strategy for the upcoming Season 10 that's starting on Tuesday. We cooked a lot and we tried a lot of stuff. We also played the PTR and we did some additional leveling on the live server. We're going to have a leveling build here for all the classes, and the sheet is going to be linked down below here. So we have like this full strategy, step-by-step guide. We'll go through this. And we have this like tier list with the best leveling builds. And in my opinion, the best builds overall, there's like all the classes are like good for leveling. In general, the power level is super high this season. There are just some classes like Spiritborn and Sorg that are like a little stronger than the other classes. But even if you choose to level like as a druid or something with companion, you're still gonna be rocking like super strong. And I think most of you guys gonna level faster than ever because the overall power in this game is just nuts in Season 10. Thanks to the Chaos Armor, thanks to the overall buffs, and also thanks to the Chaos perks. I'm expecting at least, the blue perks that we might get them like pretty early on. For example, Alacrity here on Spiritborn. And like these blue ones, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get them. We don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna get them sometime in the leveling process. And we will also, for the first time, be able to do Infernal Hordes while we level, which is going to change the strategy a lot. You can follow along all the different guides here on d4builds.gg. You have like I have basically what I think is the best leveling build for each class. So Companion for Druid, Evade for Spiritborn, Summon Minion for Necro, Dance of Knife for the Rogue, and Firewall Hydra for Sorcerer, and Whirlwind, Barb, Lunging Strike for the Barbarians. And this is how they rank. I think Evade and Sorg are going to be the fastest. They can simply move like super smooth early on. Hydra is still a big powerhouse, and you can always transition into the Hydra endgame or into the cool Ball, Lightning, Sorcerer. And Evade Spiritborn, if I want to show you here some of the footage here of how we play. It got a tremendous buff to Evade itself, and it got a buff later to all the legendary legendary powers, and also to the key passes, which are going to be unlocked at like level 20 or something. So that's going to be pretty insane. You can see with the Alacrity power, you can even perma-evade almost, like you need to attack evade with Thunder Spikes, but you have a very good evade uptime even early on. And what also is happening now in the Helltide, you can see it up here on the top right, you can engage the Chaos Rifts while you're doing the Helltide. This is basically giving you Chaos powers, it's giving you season progression, and it's giving you the Infernal Rep, which is basically allowing you to level up your season perks, your season powers even further. You can see these monsters on the PTR though, they have been pretty tanky. You see, like this is like the normal monsters die instantly, and the monsters here from the Chaos Rifts, they're pretty tanky. So we don't know. Blizzard said they juiced them up, they buffed the stuff that they dropped, they buffed the XP and stuff. We'll have to see how it pans out. I was mainly skipping these on the PTR because it took too long to kill. But in the live game, I think it hopefully is worth killing them. We will check this out when we talk about the strategy. But overall, the power level is high. And you can see how many. This is like all Chaos Rifts. There's another 2 Chaos Rifts up there. And this is just normally in the Helltide, which I also think is going to be the best leveling. And Spiritborn and Sorg are just fantastic for that. However, like I said, you can do this on basically every class and have a lot of fun with it. So with the Evade Spiritborn, you can transition into the Endgame farming build for Evade, or you transition, into one of the top builds on the tier list. The Spiritborn has a lot of them. A lot of builds are in S tier in general, and every class also has an S tier build in the end. And then, like here, about 5 to 10 minutes slower on like optimal leveling routes is the Dance of Knife Strokes. This is like spin to win playstyle. It's super strong, and they ultra juiced the traps in general. You can transition into like a Dance of Knives trap build, or you can transition into an all-time favorite, the Death Trap build. Super strong, spin to win, very nice. The Minion Necro is always like a super chill way to level. You just let your minions handle all the work while you just walk around and you loot the cinders and you loot all the stuff. So Minion Necro also eating very good, and they have a very strong build with the Soul Rift Necro being like top of S tier basically. Like I think they did like 122 on the PTR, and they are looking like extremely powerful as well. And then on the Druid, this is probably the class with the highest DPS of them all. For leveling, not quite, but for the end game, the Pulverized Puddle Druid, which you can transition into, as well as the Raven Druid, are sitting like basically on top of S tier. And this time, I don't recommend Pulverized for leveling. I recommend Companion. The companion got some ultra juice, and it has also like very nice synergy here. I think over abundance you might get pretty early on, and you're gonna be flying on this like Raven plus wolves plus poison creeper build. Like it's gonna be, I think, pretty strong. And we don't know when we get the unique chaos perks. I assume we get these later, but if you for some reason get savagery, like that's gonna be completely insane for you. And druid is just like eating good and is extremely powerful in general. And then even barbarian, like you have the whirlwind lunging strike, that's still pretty solid. You spin to win, and you also get a lot of the basic skills that are gonna be very strong. And early on, I think we have a good chance that we get this like unstable power. There's also another power that you can play, which is dual threat. We'll still have to test with this a little bit because I didn't level that much with the barb, but there's like some pretty strong powers here, I believe, that you can take early on the barb. So that's going to be pretty strong, buffing your basic skill, and then you spin to win for AoE and basic skills to take down single targets. I think it's going to be very nice and very strong. I have a full benchmark here. I was showing a little bit earlier, like of a full leveling run here from the PTR. You can click this if you want. This is also going to be linked below in the Excel sheet, in the cheat sheet. And then we have the full leveling strategy. So once you have decided on which leveling guide you want to follow, again, they're all linked below. There's just one for each class, but there's still like, you know, you can still play pulverized druid if you want. I just focus on which I think is the best. So in general, guys, here, this is my best guess. We don't know like all the final stuff yet, especially what I was talking earlier about with these chaos rifts. We don't know exactly what it's going to be, how efficient it's going to be. But they also said this year, this is a 40-second clip I want to show you here real quick, that Blizzard just posted on their X account.
In the season of Infernal Chaos, the veil thins between Sanctuary and the Burning Hells, leaving offering pedestals scattered throughout Sanctuary in Helltides and Nightmare dungeons. When you activate a rift through one of these pedestals, it will pull the worst of the Infernal Horde's vile creatures into Sanctuary, and it will continue to do so until the rift portal is destroyed. The portal itself will do everything in its power to remain, like binding itself to an enemy and firing projectiles at the player as the activity persists. Think stubborn, what can you say? Destroying the portal will drop you all manner of loot. You'll find anything from crafting...
So here's where it's important. The loot that you get crafting materials, you get legendaries.
Materials to infernal compasses.
And we also get these ultra ugly looking infernal compasses. And in fact, there was this infernal compasses. They're called fleeting compass. They look like this, fleeting hordes, which you could do during the leveling phase of the PTR. And yeah, once you do this, there's an excellent chance that this is going to be some pretty good XP, especially if you're playing solo, you know, like I think most of you will do. However, this hasn't been fully tested. I recommend at least trying it out. If you know, I'm going to be live for like, I think like 7 days almost when the season comes out. So we'll be doing a 24-hour live stream, and I will make sure to keep you updated on this and testing this while we're live as well on the season launch. And this is just one of the ways you can level, but starting on the top here, so you pick a guide. I think with the power creep, you want to start the game on hard. Before, if you never played Diablo 4, it's probably better to play on normal. But if you choose, like, you know, any build of my leveling builds, you can do on hard, and it's going to give you 75% X multiplicative more XP. If you are playing like Spiritborn or Sorc, or maybe even some other classes, you can even start on expert or even higher difficulty. But for most of you, I recommend hard. It's going to be pretty nice. You create a seasonal character, very important. You start the game, you equip your pet, that's also going to pick up the materials. You can get your mercenary if you have the Vessel of Hatred expansion in the Hantu right away. Just hire it, because later on it helps a lot if you level the rapport from the mercenary. It gives you legendary rewards from the bartering and all this kinds of stuff. It also gives you a map pack if you choose Subo. Then you want to probably start the season quest. And this is going to like basically allow you to gain the reputation from doing the Infernal Hordes and doing the Chaos Rifts, because you can read here that Chaos Rifts appear within Helltide and Nightmare Dungeons. Put down the demons, seal them away to get season reputation and Infernal Rap. This is the material that you basically need to you know, level like your Chaos perks up and get them more powerful, get them higher. So that sounds pretty good to do. We'll have to see how the life is going to be on these guys. And in general, definitely recommended to do this season quest early on. Also, make sure to loot some herbs to craft at level 10, craft a precision elixir for the 8% multiplicative XP bonus. You can also do raising spirits alternatively. We also have some benchmarks of level that you expected in each segment, and also the time of each segment, like usually. You can also follow the written version of the leveling here on the 4 builds, so that's going to help you a lot as well. And the sheet is also going to be linked below. And then you pretty much want to go to the Helltide. You want to focus on killing elites, finish your whispers, like go in the Helltide that has the whispers for sure. Turn the whispers in after the Helltide, so not right away when you finish them, like just be efficient. Then look how the Chaos Rifts are. If the monsters are still giga tanky, then you might want to skip them, or you might want to go to a lower tier depending on the power level of your build. We also have a Discord here if you don't want to play alone, because in Helltide, guys, the HP of the monsters does not scale up the more players you are. So it's always more efficient to be in a group in Helltide, because the monster HP does not change. And that's going to be very powerful to like level in a group, basically. You're going to have a nice time. It's also, in my opinion, it's more fun if you don't play all by yourself, if you play together with some people, with some friends, with some community members. So you can always join the Discord, guys. If you don't have any friends right now, you can like probably find someone there. So that's going to be very nice. And yeah, then if Helltide or Season Quest drop the Fleeting Horde, okay, we know this now. That they drop it, but like if you find one, I definitely recommend doing the Infernal Hordes, checking it out. I think I did test it very briefly on the PTR, and it's going to be this like a 4-wave Infernal Hordes that you will do. And yeah, it's a stationary area, so you don't need a lot of movement speed. You just need AoE damage, and all the builds that I recommend kind of have this. And there's also a good chance that at some point you're going to get like your powers there and everything. And that's going to be very rewarding. The class quest, guys, when you level 15, it's going to unlock automatically, right? So you don't have to do the class quest anymore. If you've done this before on any class, in any season, or in Eternal Realm, it's going to be automatically unlocked for you. Make sure that you are on hard difficulty, unless it's like way too hard, like it's like too challenging, your character feels too weak. You can always lower to normal mode as well. And then when the Helltide breaks, so by the end of the first Helltide, you want to be at least level 30. I've even seen people reach up to level 40 in one Helltide. Maybe if you're very slow, you're going to be like level 25 or something, but that's okay. It's just going to take you a little longer then. But overall, it's going to be very good in the 5-minute Helltide to salvage your gear, min-max it a bit. Also, if you need to, you can do 1 or 2 dungeons to get your aspects, like Juggernaut gives you a ton of armor if you're struggling with survivability. That's going to help you a lot doing some of these aspect dungeons. You can see always in the planner, let's say, if we have something here, let's say the whirlwind leveling, you can see here that this dungeon drops, this aspect of might drops by completing the dark ravine dungeon in the dry steppes. So that can be very helpful for you. And then you basically want to continue the Helltide, depending on your power. You want to go high difficulty if you are feeling good, because you are getting 75% more XP in hard. You're getting 125 more XP in expert, and in penitent you're even getting 175% multiplier on your XP. Obviously the monster life also goes up, but since usually movement speed is the cap and not damage for a lot of builds, I think it's good to play on harder difficulty usually if you're feeling powerful. There is also a second leveling strategy that I quickly want to mention. If you want to go super try-hard and sweaty, when you make your character creation, you can choose to do the Vessel of Hatred campaign again. So I think if you want to like level like in 2 hours or something, a lot of people some people gonna be starting, you know, like especially if you're playing solo, you're gonna be starting the character creation with the Vessel of Hatred campaign not unlocked, and then you, after the first Helltide, do the campaign. However, I do not recommend this. The campaign is pretty boring. There's a lot of yapping, and you just do this on normal, and it's like pretty stupid to do, because you also don't get any power. Like, you know, you might get to level 60 faster doing the campaign, but you're missing out on all the season progress, you're missing out on all the reputation, and you're missing out on the powers, and looks like you will be weaker if you do this Vessel of Hatred campaign. And since the power level is so high, I think like Helltide doing is great. You can also do the strongholds. This is mostly recommended for most people. It's also going to give you all the waypoints. Like once you're like around level 50, should take you like 2 Helltides maybe if you're a bit slower. Then you can do the strongholds all the way to 60. Or also, alternatively, you can do the Kurast Undercity if you own the Vessel of Hatred expansion. This is like pretty decent for XP, and you get a lot of materials as well. But overall, if you just want to beat Brain Dead, TLDR, you just do Helltide, and you do some of the Chaos Rifts, and you do some Hordes as you find the keys. That's going to be pretty chill for you. But if you want to go try hard and you want to sweat, you can also do these alternatives here. Just wanted to mention it. And then getting to T1, obviously, once you hit 60, you want to change difficulty to Penitent, temper your gear, imprint your gear, equip some of the runes that you might find, and then do a couple Nightmare Dungeons. It's going to improve your gear, get your first glyphs, and then you need to start doing pits. So you go from level 1 to level 10 pits. Then you're going to unlock T1, and I think then it's time that you transition into one of the endgame builds. So you can just click this link here. It's going to basically take you to all my Season 10 endgame builds, and then you can just, I don't know, click a class. Let's say I'm playing Spiritborn, and then you can see here all the endgame builds. Evade, Rake, Stinger, Quill, Volley, Ape, Gorilla, Crushing Hands, Payback Ape, TOD, Thorns, whatever you want to play, you know. And then once you're in T1, and you're comfortable there after doing some Helltide, it's time to do your first layer bosses. I think they're called layer bosses now. So you want to get the uniques. We have the full loot table. I'm also going to link that here in the sheet. So let's say on Spiritborn, I'm looking to do Lord Zir. And what Lord Zir can drop me is very good for the evade build early on. I'm looking, for example, for the Vushnek Pa. This is tremendously powerful early on for your evade build. Also, Temerity is pretty good, and the Jacken's Shell for cooldown reduction is pretty good. So there's like a lot of cool stuff. So you just want to farm, let's say you're playing evade, you just want to farm some Helltide, you farm some Maiden on T1, and then you start doing Lord Zir. Ideally with some friends. However, that's not even that necessary anymore. You can also do it solo because everybody has to play their own, pay their own materials. However, you still get more legendaries per kill in a group. So ideally, you do this in a group because you get more rewards out of your materials. Then you basically keep blasting, unlock the last torment levels, you know, don't slack, have fun, and just enjoy the season. Like this season, like you have, basically, you can choose any character, any class, doesn't matter. Like, you know, we have, in my opinion, 16 S-tier builds. Pit 100 is going to be a joke for any of these builds. Even for the A-tier builds, Pit 100 is going to be a joke. And there's a ton of fun ones out there. I do have one more benchmark here for you. So if you want to, like, you know, focus on doing fast experience, I have some segments here from Season 7 when I played the Spin to Win Earthquake Barb back in the days. If you're playing a Sorcerer or you're playing a Spiritborn, this can be done even faster. But you really need to not slack, right? Like, this is like pretty optimistic times from, like, you know, top playing. And you can be level 300 in around 100 hours, guys. I have like the benchmark video in here as well. And yeah, it's gonna be pretty fast overall. And yeah, just I'm probably gonna make a video and show you like some full-fledged, like I don't know, like 1 to 30 leveling on the Spiritborn that I did on the PTR, because you can see like the Chaos Rift and everything in action, and just get a feeling of how the build's gonna play and stuff. But again, no matter which class you choose, you're gonna have a great time, as this is an amazing season and the power level is extremely high. So log in, choose your build, and let's slay some demons. Let's go. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. I'm also live on Twitch almost every day, so come and say hi.